let's move on to Group B.
Group B.
Where I don't think it could have gone much better if you're the Immortals, at least right now. It could get a lot worse. But, I mean, yes, you have Longzhu in your group. Oh, no, they're the top team from Korea.
Great.
But you also got the Gigabyte Marines, who they've taken a bit of a step back from previous years' big roster change. Even their coach is like, we're not as good as we were, which is always a good sign. That's what you want to hear.
That's something you want to be saying heading into a major
that's
tournament.
not ideal. But Song, the coach of Immortals, used to be with Longzhu, so a little inside information, perhaps.
Yeah, and I forget who it was on Longzhu, but one of the players said, oh, you know, too bad Immortals is in our group. Almost like they were, like, didn't want to play a good team like Immortals, which is kind of like, okay, settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down. But, I mean, for NA in general, these first two teams, we'll get to the other groups later, you have got to be happy. They lose that Pool 1 seed because of their poor performance at MSI, and both teams come away with pretty amazing groups.
Yes.
I mean, yes, again, Immortals could probably still get World Elite or Fnatic or something in there.
Yeah, the only team they can't get is Cloud9, basically.
Right. So, again, it depends who that final team is, but basically, whoever it is, I think they're competing with them for that second spot, and whether it's Fnatic or World Elite, because those are probably the top two that will be coming in, I think they have a chance to get out over either of them. So definitely happy for Immortals. That group could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been the second team out of China, which would definitely make things a little uglier for them. Because at least now, even if it's Fnatic or World Elite, you're like, oh, all right, we got a spot. Even though people are saying World Elite's like the best team out of China this year, coming in as that third seed, kind of getting screwed into the play-ins or whatever. But yeah, for Immortals, you're thrilled. It really can't go much better. And I mean, Smithy's got world experience. The only concern with Immortals, of course, is how they kind of looked nervous in the finals against TSM, and this is an even bigger stage. So hopefully they learn from that and they can make some things happen with that Cody Sun and Ole bot lane. But I mean, if you got Gigabyte Marines in your group, that's probably the weakest of the Pool 2 teams outside of maybe AHQ.
Yeah, so obviously they're definitely happy with that. Yeah, and I think it was just that Immortals bot lane specifically that kind of stuck out in the finals against TSM. I think the top half, because yeah, Smithy and Pobelter have been in stuff like that. Flame has played in big matches throughout his career. He's a big-time veteran of the scene. So yeah, it's just that bot lane, and I think that exposure to big crowds and stuff like that, I think they'll be more comfortable playing on this world stage. And regardless of who comes in, I don't think there's a huge amount of pressure on Immortals, because as per usual in Worlds and with NA, all the pressure will be on TSM. Everyone will be looking at them. Immortals, I think there's so much less pressure on them. I think they can play a little more freely and just be more aggressive, especially a guy like Ole can just kind of roam and take over games more. So yeah, it should feel pretty good.
I think they could take some teams from surprise, maybe even take a game off Longzhu in that group stage. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
When you don't have pressure, you can do some crazy things.
Yeah.
Also, before we move on to Group C, Gigabyte Marines have just been being like, man, I can't wait to pull out all these cheese compositions. I'm like, oh no, what do you have planned? And I think it was even you who was like, yeah, there might be lane swaps against Khan to get away from that matchup. I'm like, it's not Season 5.
Well, Archie is now their top laner.
Yeah, he was not a top laner before.
He's already been known to be a guy whose mechanics are not nearly top-notch, so he was support, and you can kind of hide your mechanics a bit more there. You still need to be landing skill shots quite a bit. Yeah. But yeah, if he goes straight up 1v1 against Khan on a Jace or some other carry type champion, that is going to be disgusting. They're going to have to turn off the stream because it'll be inappropriate for people to watch. So Gigabyte Marines, I was kind of hyped to see them come in, but the more I kind of look into them and hear what other people are saying about them, maybe it's not going to be so exciting. Let's get to see Levi, though. Yeah. He's good.
I'm always ready for some cheese, though. Hit me with the cheese.
If you're coming in as a team that no one's really expecting you to do much, you got to come in with the cheese. That's the secret to Worlds, you know. You got to play the brand support. You got to play some crazy picks. Let's see some Ezreal jungle. Let's go.